Welcome.
Not yet. So
Welcome.
Oh, apparently it's live.
Yeah, it's live
live.
now.
It is live.
Mm,
It's live.
Okay, it's
What is
live.
live? What
It
what
is
what
I
is
don't
alive.
live?
know. So welcome to DevKami number 201. Can't believe we did 201. Amazingly, my name is Sumi.
Is
I'm
it a prime
Tristan.
number? I'm a Chilium.
Yes, last week
No,
is
it's not.
election
It's
season.
it's not a prime number because 2 plus 1 is 3.
So
Yeah,
it's a
correct.
bad number. It's not a safe number.
No, it's just not our favorite number. We just can't use this to secure our data.
Yeah. It's not a good number.
So
Throw it away.
yes, we need prime numbers to use in RSA. That's the point. Okay, so with that said, election have over. After a few days of drama, we had a new prime minister.
Finally. Let's see how long that will last.
Well, finally, in
Yes.
both counts, finally for us having a prime minister, and finally for the prime minister being a prime minister.
Yes.
Right?
So relevant to us,
Yeah.
two things that are relevant to us is one, there's no any talk of tech policy yet. So because we are a tech show after all. And number two is public holiday apparently is announced, but I can't find it anywhere else. To be honest, I don't need the
Until
holiday.
until there is official announcement.
Correct.
Do you need a link
Is there
Yeah,
an
that'd be
official
nice.
one from the press or something?
from the press? Yeah.
Yeah. You see, it is on the press release, but I can't find the link anywhere.
I'm gonna look up Twitter.
So
Yes. So I'll give you the link on. I mean, there's no gazette. It's not gazetted yet.
yes, it's
But
not gazetted yet, but it's announced.
Yeah, something
Let me
announced.
open it. How the hell do I copy the link here anyway?
You just copy and then open in a new tab.
That's very typical of Malaysia. In Malaysia, we celebrate anything with another holiday.
Yeah, correct. I know.
I'll put
I know
it
where to
on
find
private
it.
chat. I'll put it
Yeah.
on private chat, then you can click on it.
Yeah. So, yep. Let me share over. So yeah lah. Public holiday. I think it's a bit silly because what we need now is a plan.
Are you
But
sharing
if-
your screen?
I'm going to I'm pressing the button now.
I'm gonna share. Are you going to share your internet banking password?
Yes. So there's a public holiday, of course. So yeah lah. That's what happened lah. Let me close the other windows. So
I think it's
holiday,
business as usual for most of us anyway. In the tech.
yeah, because it's a bit too rush. You probably just give an extra holiday for Christmas Eve or whatever. Who knows, right? Who knows? That being said, as far as concerned, nothing too big happened, which is one of the best thing about Malaysian election. It's really other than on Twitter, there is literally no big drama other than online. So yeah lah, that's about it lah. So let's talk about events. We have nothing happening. Actually, the Ruby Tuesday might be next week, right? Oh no, the week after actually. Ruby Tuesday is the week after. We have nothing until precisely December. So yeah, that's about it really.
There's no go monthly.
Yeah,
Indefinite.
why even bother? Yes, it depends on mood and all that. But next week, of course, we had the biggest event for engineers.my anyway. Advent of Code will start on a Thursday Malaysian time as well.
I'll probably do it for fun, but I'm not gonna do it every day. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I might try, but I have a day job now, and one of my thing about my day job is
You're supposed to finish it within your lunch hour or something like that.
Correct.
Assuming that you have a lunch hour, or assuming you go to lunch, or assuming you're gonna skip your lunch.
Yes, or whatever. So let's go through our news. First one, SSO reporter, yet another tools to generate an SSO permission report. Because as I discovered, AWS SSO is damn complicated. Okay, it's damn complicated. Now you have yet another tools for you to generate report, who use what. Because if you do very fine-grained permission, it'll be very hard to keep track of. My solution for that is to actually limit the product you use on AWS whenever possible. But unfortunately, once somebody go gung ho and decided that we should use every damn thing, that's it. That being said, AWS do try their best to actually upsell their product. So, for example, let's say you use the RDS services, that will actually upsell you to use the IM account to actually connect to the RDS in place of username password, which is they did it very well, to be honest. It's a very cool way to
Yeah,
access. They do
username
quite
and password should die. Should just die.
yes, but now you marry to AWS now. Congratulations, right?
Yeah,
So
you're gonna surrender your
as
credit card.
so as a result, and this is not just on database. Then you got, if let's say they upsell you Lambda, you get the same thing because they make it so that EC2 is more expensive than Lambda per execute on that alone, etc. So as a result, you will get a whole set of IAM setup that get very complicated very, very fast. And because in the early on, they make it easy to just define arbitrarily, then once you need to consolidate, it's a mess. I know been there through that. I still have my nightmare. Anything to add? If not, I'm going to move on.
Not really.
No.
Not really. AWS use.
Yeah, but if you use your own, then you go there. It's another mess. Like just moving from one mess to another. Fred Brooks. Fred Brooks is the right author of the Mythical Amendment. He is also the one that lead the OS 360 development. OS 360 is one of the more modern operating system created by IBM on the IBM mainframe. He
Is
wrote
it
the
is it related to the OS2
No, of course
operating
not.
system? No.
The 360 stands for the mainframe system, System 360. It's created in 1964. It's a batch operating system. It had a lot of modern idea, which lead all the way to the ZOS series lah. So it's a whole development process by itself. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
And yes,
And the book is actually very influential, very important.
correct. So the Mythical Amendment is the most important book we have in software engineering, software development, whatever you call it. So yeah lah. Mythical Amendment. Some consider it a bit old, but it's what's behind, right?
It's ageless. It's a
Yes.
It's like Newton's theory of gravity.
Yeah.
Like there might be
Yeah,
a better
correct.
one after,
can't-
but it's still relevant. Like I mean,
Correct.
Einstein's theory of
Can't-
relativity is more accurate.
You can't put in 9 pregnant women and expect a baby to come out within a month.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
it's
yes,
like the
Tuesday is
fundamental
correct.
truths are just like that, right?
yeah, correct. So put it this way, he describes software engineering pretty well. The same way that Newton actually described gravity, and even NASA still use Newton, not Einstein. Long story, but yeah, he's a very experienced project manager primarily. So it's a very cool book, which I suggest senior engineers should read. You should not, if you just come into the industry, yes, ready to understand it, but you may not have the context yet. You need the context to
Or just
understand
buy
also.
the book, put it on your desk to threaten like other project managers that
Yes,
say that I read the book. Don't
Correct.
even if you
Correct.
haven't read it, just buy it
So-
for display.
yes. So second system effect, all these are still true, by the way. It's still true. Most of these are still true. It just
But it's
called
still
differently
true
nowadays.
for the next maybe 200 years. So because human
Yeah.
society and culture evolves, for
Yes.
our industrial era, like
Yes,
the times that we're living in,
Correct.
it's still applicable. Although with all of the remote work, all of the things that we're doing now, it
Yep.
might be changing into a different. I mean, we'll never
correct.
know, right? That you have crowdsourcing now, right?
But definitely
Which
not
is-
within our generation.
Yeah,
Correct.
like the crowdsourcing, for example, or open source is very different from how you would manage a project, where like
Correct.
small or the Turk, for example, the Amazon Turk thing, it goes against some of the principles. So again, the
Yeah.
analogy between Newton and Einstein. Einstein has
Yeah.
like this improvements and like
Yeah.
edge cases, but the
Yes.
general rule is that Newton is still like the simple, well,
Correct.
not necessarily simple, but it's the easier to understand.
You build rocket out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
You build your rocket out of it.
Yeah, it's good
So let's
enough to
say
build a rocket, but it's probably
correct.
not good enough to predict orbits very, very precisely.
I think for some of
Yeah.
some of these things is that especially on mathematical stuff is that it depends on the granularity of the. I think it's in a way similar to how we scale our system.
Yep.
Correct.
Until we hit the scaling issue, is that we don't need that kind of granularity.
Yeah,
Correct.
you're not again going back to the astronomy thing, you're not working with a black hole, so you're not on an
Yeah.
edge case,
Correct.
like where the things break down. Like you're not
Yes.
Google scale, so you can play around with the 90% of where everything still works as expected in Newton.
Correct. Put it this way, we are not. The thing I like to say is, you write software. You're not 90% of the time. You're not doing what I call the big boys problem, right?
Mm.
Google have their own problem because they have their size and they decide to do things. Twitter have their reason to do things. They have the money, they scale it, and they do things very differently. Can it be simpler? Possible. It probably will still work very well, but it's a decision they make all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Speaking of Twitter, and I don't know if you have this in your list, but did you know
No, no,
that
no.
Mastodon is written in Rails, just like the original
Yes.
Twitter, and then
Correct,
they're
correct.
having the same scaling issues as Twitter, and so
Correct.
it
The
will be
failware
interest.
issue back then.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it will be interesting to see like Twitter solved it their way,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
that we have more understanding of how things work, like it will
Correct.
be interesting to show how Ruby on Rails or Python or Django and all like the
Yeah.
equivalents of these things, right? You don't have to have a Go or a Rust program to scale, which
Yes.
is like it's that's the thing that you
You're
were
still.
talking about. Like
I
it's
think if
not a
you
big
even if
boy
you
problem.
write in Go or Rust, you
You will
still
see.
hit the
Correct.
scaling issue because it as long as there's a bottleneck
Yeah.
along the chain,
Yeah.
you're gonna hit a scaling issue.
Because fast language just delay it a bit longer, because if your problem is within the structure,
Oh no,
that's your problem.
You
If-
know, you
if
just write everything in Node.js and it will work.
Yeah.
This is the problem, you know, because people don't use Node.js. They say it's not supposed to be on the server side.
So,
Use Node.js. See, if Mastodon just use Node.js, they don't have
yeah.
a problem scaling.
So talk about
web
Node.js.
scale.
I do have this problem. I do have this situation where this Node.js app works very well, very fast in a step function. I think step function is doing some magic that I don't understand by that way.
Mhm.
Because if Node.js is really fast, I don't think the code need to run on step function. Yet the number doesn't feels right. So it's a long
Oh
story.
yeah, so that was a question. It might be fast, but is it correct? Right?
Oh no, it's correct. Nobody complains in a way.
Just
Well,
like
yeah.
car, it might be you might be speeding,
Yeah.
but you're safe.
But in this case, I think it's more than that. Yes, JavaScript can be a fast language, but there is some magic
Well,
behind it.
If you if you have a hammer, everything is a nail.
Yeah, but I
What,
think step function
today
is
is
doing
an
some magic
analogy day.
somewhere. Yes. So yeah lah. Okay, next thing before we go on, VMware Fusion still exists. Now runs on Apple Silicon Mac.
Nice.
So
Yeah, but still, you can't run x86 programs. You still
correct.
ARM programs.
It's arms
There are
arm.
very, very few Windows ARM programs because the
Correct.
primary reason why you run Fusion is to run Windows, right? The ARM version.
Correct.
Yep.
But
Correct.
there are very few ARM.
And for
Windows
Mac
programs.
OS binary, Rosetta can translate it pretty well.
Correct. So
But
yeah,
not your Windows application though,
Yeah,
because
not
this is
not for the other OS.
yeah,
so that's the thing. The problem is you still cannot run Windows 86 x86 binaries on
Correct.
on the Mac without
Yep.
like special things.
Mhm.
So we'll see. We'll
So-
see if this is successful because I'm not sure
Correct.
if I mean at least Excel and PowerPoint and Word has ARM versions
Mhm.
which you can run on Windows, but they also have Mac
Mhm.
versions. So maybe it's just the like maybe your macros only like depend on Windows APIs, maybe.
Correct.
But we'll see how
Talking
successful
about
this is.
talking about support layer is that Proton has a version 2
Mhm.
release, if I
Mhm.
remember
Oh,
correctly.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not on my list. Okay, I should check that
Yeah.
out.
But this is
Let's
one of the
move on.
interests that you have, right, Sammy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Including the Steam
So
Deck. The Steam Deck
yes,
should have it updating now.
correct. So this one is messed up in many level because a ransomware actually attacked on AirAsia, and unfortunately the attacker gave up because the network for AirAsia is done so badly they gave up. So yeah, that's
Security through
one
obscurity.
precisely, right?
Security through incompetence.
Correct.
That's how it is.
Yes. So I'm actually looking for Steam Deck 2.0. I can't find
It's
it.
not Steam Deck 3.0, it's Proton.
I know
2.0.
Proton 2.0 is I have to go through Steam because they keep trying to show me Proton the car.
Right.
So
Let me get you the
yeah,
link.
yes. So either way, this is it's a ransomware attack. A
Oh,
lot.
it's actually not 2.0, it's actually 7.0, but it's the next
Yeah.
version. The next
Okay.
version is 7.0.
Okay. 7.0, right? Okay, just
I
give me the
can't
link.
believe
I'll share it.
7 already.
Mhm.
Yeah, it jumped a lot. So this is pretty bad because you double check the data. I use AirAsia sometime. I may have to reset a few things
I
now.
only use it once, I think.
Yeah,
Then
but what are the items that are like? So you have
let
your
me go through
email
it.
probably,
It's
right?
yeah, definitely email.
Yeah.
Uh,
Here's the screenshot of the
yeah.
records.
So
What sort of
email,
personal
account,
data?
payment, uh, booking ID,
Mm,
balance,
No,
first
yeah, no,
name.
it's fine. It
pretty
just knows where
amount.
you went
Yeah.
where you went to.
Yep.
Uh,
Secret
then
answers. This is stupid.
It's stupid. Why this?
mm,
Did they hash it? Oh, I didn't
no,
see
the
No.
it
secret
clearly.
answers are in plain text.
Yeah. Then crew portal,
Oh,
etc. It's bad. This is very bad. So so it's done on a ransomware, of course. Ransomware. So it messed up because a lot of stuff got up. But here's the worst part. The worst part is they give up because the infrastructure done badly.
yeah.
So I do not know how should I feel, to be honest.
Relief. Somebody should give a talk about it. Is that
Yeah,
how to
correct.
defeat an attacker by
Yes.
by being a mess?
Yes, because it's a mess. It's a mess. As a result, they can go in. Because they can go in. Then they give up because it's too complicated. I do not know how to feel. But that being said, again, I know AWS is one of big cloud user from a common acquaintance. When you use cloud, they sometimes really want to build your network in layers, which is true, which is a good thing. Except now you run a different team that run different layer. It got so messy. I do not know how should I feel. I mean, so it's not a bad thing per se. It is doing what it meant to do. A compromise, if you do your network properly, a compromised layer should not affect another product, right? If you do properly. But if you hit one product that is central, it's just the same thing, but it reduces the chance. So if you do your network properly, yes, but it also cause a mess because it costs everything. It will have in AWS, you will have also a security group. They talk to each other that you lose track of who talking to what, right? Then on AWS, you would have security group primarily. You may build your application on different VPCs so they can isolate each other. In theory, good, except now you want users to talk to each other. Now you have another thing. It's a mess, to be honest. So I can understand why it can be messy. If you let a lot of this need engineering discipline because just because the
Also,
cloud asks you to do it,
do not treat things as a cost center.
correct. So yeah lah. I'm gonna move on. This is a RCE on Windows, I believe. Oh no, on browser. So Tailscale DNS affect
And
Tailscale user,
Tailscale
of
should
course.
be, if you're on Tailscale, you should get a warning
Correct. You should get a warning
on your
already.
dashboards.
They already fixed it, so you should still use it. You should update and all that. But it actually a
Update your
remote code
system.
execution. Yep, it's a remote code execution that affect your browsers and all that lah. So yep, update your system as usual. Nothing more to add other than the fact that in this case, Tailscale tell you what to do lah. So yeah lah. Anything to add? If not, I'm gonna move on.
Not really.
No, if you go
Uh,
back to the Twitter post, the secret
Oh,
answer seems to be the actual password.
Yeah, it's actual
It's-
answer. It's actual answer.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
actual.
find-
No, it's actual password,
Yeah, no.
which is not well, which seems to be salted at least the answer, but
No,
still.
not true. Not true because you look at it, there is okay. Yeah, it's sorted. Interesting. Why the hell I read some word inside? Oh well. So if anything, they have that lah.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, I just
Yes.
wanted to quickly, because having these stored,
Yeah,
this is it's without encryption is going to be very very difficult. Like
correct.
not for, well, now because we see it as a dump, right? But remember that this is accessible from people inside AirAsia as well. And
Correct.
So these are the things. So remember when you are asked for these kinds of sensitive information by some random website,
Yeah,
like quizzes, for example,
correct.
that ask you like what's your birth month, so that we can find out
Yep.
which celebrity you are most
For-
related to.
Yeah,
Then this is the thing that you're facing.
correct. I'm
Okay.
on the 13th month, by the way.
Mm,
I born in the
Yeah.
13th month.
I'm on the February
Yeah.
30.
mm.
Yeah.
I think you're most related to George Clooney then.
Yes.
It's the-
Okay. Then Stable
Almost
Diffusion
no
2.0.
difference.
Stable
Speaking
Diffusion
of George
2.0 is
Clooney,
out.
And what change?
Okay, according to what I read somewhere else is that they do stricter not safe for work training and for safety reason. I think they're going to release a
Yeah,
paper
previously
soon.
some of the keywords are really easily triggered.
Correct. So we actually engineers not my Discord
Okay,
bot
yeah.
have this little problem. So yeah.
It's
So-
really not safe for work.
Yep. So they're already trained on the subset on this big data set with filter, an NSW filter. So you have that. They're better encoder. This is the implementation itself. So the text to image model will default resolution of 512 pixels. So it's bigger now. It's bigger. You have better upscaler models so they can upscale nicer image lah. Then implementation as usual. Then you can do also transformation. So updated models, mostly updated models. And for end user, not much, but I do not know whether it's compatible with the current client. This one I need to check the community. It's really recent, as in today, right? I believe this today. So I probably need to check on the Stable Diffusion community on Reddit and all that to see if there is actual difference. This as a result, you guys should donate to us. Okay, us, so that I will set up a GTX 3060
Not
to
G.
run this on.
Not G.
RTX.
It's RTX.
Yeah, you might
RTX
get
30.
scammed. Like there's a
Damn it.
listing called
Yeah.
GTX 3060 for
What are
only
you talking about?
500
Is it
ringgit.
real swimming?
Yeah, I actually did our exercise in the afternoon. I see a bit blur. So either way, there's even that it might be too big for my piece, for my casing or not. I don't know. I need to find out again. But I don't have money anyway. But it's Christmas. You guys should collect money and give us. Just kidding. I don't. I'll use my
You
own
should.
money one way or another. And because the new prime minister is up, our ringgit actually got a bit better. So yeah. I'm going to move on, but this is interesting to see what people have done with it. So yeah, this one. The Ukraine conflict is exposing the limit of cyber warfare and Russian hacker. So, which is somewhat expected because, yes, they have attacked the IT system that caused power outage then what, right? Then what? So cyber warfare is not the way you think. You release virus, it cause mess and all that, but it's not the same thing as launching missiles. So, and also if you got help from around the world, you get the same thing to protect your infrastructure, software infrastructure and all that. So yeah. So in short, there's a limit. There's a limit of what cyber warfare can do. They are not the same thing as bullet. You can cause power outage, but do not necessarily can do real damage, which is what a bomb does. Which is a bad thing, and
Depending
which is a
on how
good thing.
sophisticated it is, like the
Yeah,
SCADA. How familiar are you with the SCADA?
Correct. That thing take years to do, right? That attack take years to happen. So it's not the same thing at the same time. Yeah, lah.
Has to
So
be
yeah,
targeted, a lot of research.
correct. So cyber warfare not the same kind of thing. Next one, I'm going to go down further. GeoHot joined Twitter. GPS. GPS is very cool. GPS
GeoHot
actually
is one
very
of the. You guys know who's GeoHot is?
GeoHot actually he hacked the PS3 and he
Yeah.
also did Coma AI before
Yeah.
this. So let me do the article. Okay, so he joined Twitter. He's not always a friend of Elon Musk. I believe he's there because he is asked to break into the existing
I
system
think
because
he
people left.
took up a challenge, like it's something like a dare, whether you can fix
Yeah.
things.
Correct. I don't think he can fix things, but he will open up access for
I
people
would
to
say
fix
is
things.
that probably not popular within our circle, which is like
Yeah.
I think Twitter suffer from not really I'm not really a fanboy of Musk, but
Yeah.
I think some of the things he complained about had some weight,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
bloats, the
Mhm.
workforce bloats, and too many
Yes.
managers to manage
And the
one programmers.
just the like the programming, uh, how do you say, the discipline
Yeah.
is also a problem. Like we laugh at like the problem, like, oh, someone resigned and that was the
Mhm.
only person who knew the password, and then that's why
Yeah.
things are broken, and we laugh at it. But
Correct.
then when you're actually there, then you do an analysis, and why is it that there's no knowledge base of like turnover of things?
Correct.
Why was this person allowed to resign without uh, like turning over things? That should have been part of the training, or
Yeah.
like what was the manager doing allowing this person to resign without knowing what is going to happen? So these are
Precisely.
like like we laugh at the missteps and the failures there, but it also shows that there are some things that actually need to be fixed at Twitter, and that the
Yeah.
complaints actually have a basis somehow or the other.
Yes. Okay. I actually try to find how GPS work because I read it recently. So yeah. Or either way, back to this. Bigger the organization, the more likely you are to lose track of things. So that actually happens more often than most people know. So the bigger you are, one person may do one thing that everyone forgot about that's important. So smaller team easier to track, but and also one of the project I'm working on right now is to make sure that the knowledge is transferred well enough. So people call it's the truck factor, but really I just want to go on holiday. Okay. I just want to go on holiday and nobody should be able to call me on my holiday. So to do this, knowledge should be transferred around. That's my goal, and which is somewhat relevant to what you guys are happening right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. This is the thing that should have been uh like thought of like way before like
Correct,
the mass resignations, right? And I feel that
correct.
people are just resigning because they know it's just like horrible that they will be
Yes,
found out, and then so that
yeah,
they're resigning. But again, from Musk's perspective, yes, please resign because I don't have to pay you severance when I fire you, right? So
yes,
that's that. It works out both ways. Like the the people who know that the boat is sinking are getting away, and Musk doesn't have to pay extra for kicking
correct,
people out.
correct. Also, I don't like the way he do things. These things usually done secretly so that there is way out. So he already do all that in public. So not my thing. So that I do not agree with lah. So next one. Do you know how GPS works?
It's
The
a
party, they didn't get the majority, right?
So the GPS system actually done by actually measuring time. They actually have clock. So it's actually time based. Given that time is constant, then you can actually measure the distance. Then from 3 point, then you roughly know the
so
point.
that's why GPS
point what.
satellites are also timekeepers.
Correct. They have very accurate clock, and they actually have to take into account of relativity because
Yeah.
space, everything in orbit
Dilation.
moves so fast. So there is some dilation and all that. So what these guys does is they actually implement a time protocol, yet another time protocol. This time provide millisecond precision, and this is done using GPS. So yeah. So this is tell them about right.
You know, a
Consistency,
lot of organization they block NTP ports.
Yes, which is because there's a security vulnerability at one time, right? As a result, it just happens, right? NTP. So it's a security problem at one time. As a result, then there's advisory which I think is really silly, to be honest. Let me copy a link after this. So, but we are realizing that timekeeping is actually very important to actually get things to work. Sorry. So yeah, this is how people they need it. They really need it because to know that the data. So the reason why NTP exists is because you want to when you want to replicate system between things, time need to be keep consistently, because if you're not careful about it, you will reach a very weird situation where so if this time is earlier than the server time, does it mean that this does not need to be updated, for example, right? So you need a consistent time around so that data are synced correctly.
If you have something like on a rough algorithm, is that or anything
Correct.
that is based on a consensus algorithm, you need
Correct.
the most accurate time.
Correct. So if there is a very strong case for them to put it on millisecond, because internet are that fast nowadays.
And especially
So,
when you have a lot of machines with a state to synchronize.
Correct. So yeah, so this is how they show the implementation. They actually have antenna to talk to GNSS. That's the Russian version of GPS, by the way. So from there, they just try to get time from it now. So it's interesting they use GNSS instead of GPS, but yeah, you can. GNSS is an open standard that it's an alternative to GPS. So yeah, anything else you want to add? If not, I'm going to move on. So with this very cool technology and show you how things work. And time is important. I'm going to share the link to this one computer file.
It's important, especially in these days when everything is also encrypted.
Correct. So your email, imagine your email, once you get time in the wrong place, it get really weird in sorting your time and all that. So this the computer file video is about the origin of NTP system and what's the use case for it. So yeah. Next one, distributed computing manifesto, aka Big Boy's problem. This exists in Amazon to handle their size of business, and it's written in 1998, which is very interesting. So the reason for having this is our current two-tier cluster architecture is essentially data bound. Application that run business directly have knowledge of data model. There is tight coupling with the application model. The data model had the changes, even the functionality remain the same. This Apple does not scale well because at that time, Amazon, the shop, do have this problem because they grow very, very fast. As a result, they do have this issue. Most people will not. So as this is why they say that they're going to use like a service-based model. So at that time, they probably be what's the SOAP? Do you think they use SOAP? I don't think so, right? They probably use a
Well,
message queue. They probably use a
I mean,
message queue
it doesn't
somewhere.
have to be like text based, like so, like an XML based.
Yeah,
It can
correct,
be like binary. I mean, it would be more
correct,
efficient to use a binary protocol.
correct. But I do not know what binary protocol exists that time in 1998.
No, what do you
So
mean?
It's binary.
Like
Just the
yeah,
just
so
your signaling is binary.
yeah,
right,
SMS messages between Nokia. Was it Nokia? Like the Nokia SMS servers. It's just
yep,
binary. Like they're just delimited by, you know how C strings are, right? It's the same.
yeah,
You
yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
digit,
Okay,
and
okay,
then you have messages, and then you have like a header. The protocol is just, of course, whatever the developers decide would be the protocol.
correct.
Usually, it's immediately like mappable into a C struct, for example. But it
Yep,
doesn't need. I mean, you don't need to have like this kind of overhead of
correct,
using text with XML to just
correct.
pass around payloads.
So yeah, this created all the way in 1998. It's a manifesto of why things are done this way. I don't think we need to, but when you need to, when you need to. So this from Amazon anyway. And anything to add? If not, I will move on.
Mhm.
No, really.
This one is cool. Now nobody can fake my face. So this is Intel. This defect detector from Intel. So you can use it to make to show that whether this person is real or not.
People can still
Uh,
fake you. It's just that when you know a lot of time is that we know what we can tell what a deep fake is. Like some
correct.
of the
So
fake
what
one are
this
so fake.
so what this can do is automated software, meaning you can flag it automatically
But will this work
to handle the
if you have
size.
like heavy makeup?
I do not know, to be honest. I did not see the demo. This is just a news release, to be honest.
Mm.
They promise that it's 96% accuracy. We need to try it
Yeah, we can release it
before it
and we
goes.
can try it out.
Correct. We should try to make our own faces as deepfake and try to do our content here. Why not, right? This
Oh,
one
you
is
can.
actually, uh-huh,
Like, there's the what they call this. There's this app, right, that makes you
yep,
into an emoji thing. We can have an episode just we're all just emojis.
yeah. So this one is actually to detect compromise by monitoring network flow from device. So this one use Wi-Fi, so you can actually use it to sniff compromised devices. And the anomaly detection is by Surikata. Surikata is actually a open source network analysis and threat detection software. So they do more than just IDS, but they also have it's the whole engine. So it's open source. You can run it on your computer. I'm going to try it in the office. Will be interesting. It runs on Linux, from what I believe. Okay, honestly, I do not know whether it will work on my laptop. Damn it! I want to try it.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's just the engine or inclusive of some of the definition or something like that.
Yeah. Oh no, okay, here you are. You need a Debian like operating system to install it easily using the provided bash script. So I believe no for now.
Well,
No for
can
now.
you use WSL for this?
I doubt it because
I
this
mean,
monitor the hardware, the actual hardware. You
okay.
can, but it's a bit messy. It's a bit messy for you to do that. Because what WSL does is it create a virtual network interface
As long
to
as it
host
can, as long as it can access the access port, the Wi-Fi
yeah,
interface.
which very likely you cannot do on a WSL actually. So you need a Linux box for this. And I should try. I want to. On the other hand, I have Oh, you
Well, you
can
can
run on the
try
Pi.
on your Raspberry Pi. It comes with,
Yeah. I
but it only
can get
comes
my
with
Pi.
one.
Yes. Oh well. If anything, it will be interesting. And I want to try in office because co-working space is notorious for having stranger come into office. Who knows of those machines? Who knows? Who know how many of those will be affected? Damn, I want to try this for security audit in the office. Oh well. And actually, that's about it. So, anything else that I miss?
You have nope.
No, right?
Not
So,
really. It's a snow. It's things are not moving fast for the past week.
no, actually, there is things that is happening. There's things that is happening for a few weeks, but it's just that actually not this week probably because this week is Thanksgiving.
And also, no,
Meaning we
it's
got
a Black Friday is coming,
which is on Friday, the Saturday Malaysian time. So lah.
and all the festive season, people are gonna travel because now the border is open.
Correct. And also what I do not know is whether there's Black Friday for Amazon. Let me see. Let me
I
quickly
received
see.
some emails from some of the hobby stuff, but not really, not.
Yeah.
But you can check out Amazon SG as well.
Yeah,
Not
because
a lot
Amazon
of
has
option, but
not
at
a lot
least
of
some of the
option because
shippings are free.
correct. So interesting. I should share it. Because I can share it because my stuff that recommend is safe for work. Unlike Lazada, because
I like
I'm a male
Shopee.
category. Yeah, because I'm a male Malaysian male. As a result, they give me all the dodgy shit. Interesting because they give me like how to rebuild and restore classic Japanese motorcycle. Nice. I will get that. Harvestella na. I probably won't get game. Graduate graph theory. Graduate text it. MetaMesh. Why the hell it come? Did I log in? Yes, it's streaming. Interesting. Then of course I do not know whether these are the devices will be delivered to us. So maybe that.
So I had a
So yeah,
look.
not the benefit.
I had a look at Shopee, and it recommends me emergency toilet portable travel highway
Yeah.
disposable urine bag.
On Shopee, they recommend me stuff that I cannot share in public. It make me look bad. It will make them look bad. It will make everyone look bad, to be honest. So, yeah. Then is there Black Friday sale on Kinokuniya? Don't think so as well.
I don't think so. Is that for some of the
Yeah, because
retail?
Black Friday is primarily a US thing that beginning to come to us, but not that much. Even most of the eShops, okay, Steam have it, but Nintendo eShop do not because they tend to only do Black Friday for
It's
for
actually about
physical.
stock clearance as well.
Correct. Because
But who are
they want to do
you?
it before Christmas.
Are you?
Oh, they
We mean no harm.
Yes.
nice. Oh my goodness, Tristan got invaded by a internet
Yeah, we
thing.
mean no harm.
So yeah, not that much lah. Not that much to be honest. So yeah, I will not show you what happened on Shopee. And Shopee already have thing called salary day sale anyway. Ooh, from Navia.
When it's showing soon.
Shopee is trying to push me Atomic Habits. Not bad.
Yeah,
What's Atomic Habits?
That's one.
It's a
It's one
book.
of the book.
Oh,
It's about
Atomic
building a new habit gradually
Yep.
and to make it persistent.
Correct. So for Avatar, it's come in December 20 plus. So it's few days before Christmas. So
What
yeah,
Avatar?
yeah.
And did I miss anything? Like what Avatar?
no, Avatar 2.
Oh, okay.
The James Cameron movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
been a while since I watched. any
It
movie.
has
Yes,
been
it's
a
a
while.
very old movie. It's a very old movie.
Yeah. Oh, so I'll share. So we backstage we were sharing. I was sharing this. I'll share this again. We
Mhm.
were talking about the GPT WinMax 2 last week, And on the what they call this, on the Discord for the GPT Win devices,
Yeah.
someone, well, you can see it in the background. Someone's posting their EPC, which is
Mm-hmm.
like a netbook way back in the 2000s. Uh, it's not very good. It's a Celeron chip, not very
Yeah.
fast, overheats. Only
Yes.
4 gigs of RAM, I think. Or sorry, this is 2 gigs
Yeah.
of RAM. One
Yes.
gig,
At that time, it's 2 gig.
2 gig was the like the top end, right? And then
Yes.
so I managed to bring out or like dig up my old Dell. Uh, this is the Dell Inspiron Mini 9, which is
Yep.
like on the same form factor. It was a step up of the EPC, and so it's here because to show like the size comparison, right? So the
Correct.
GPD Win Max is almost as fast as a Ryzen 7, well, actually faster than the
Correct.
Ryzen 1700X in terms of CPU and Cinebench. But
Yeah. And
it's
also the
like,
difference,
mhm,
between the EPC at that time is, at that time they sacrifice performance for
yeah,
portability, and
mhm.
also as a result, it only works well on Linux instead of on a Windows
I
machine,
mean,
which people
you
want.
can run Windows on it. I ran Windows on mine when I still had it
Yeah.
back then.
Only
The
much
way
later is
Yeah,
possible.
the way I used it was because there were like I was on going on trains, right? When I was
Yep.
studying in university, and I
Correct.
had like this 3G dongle
Yep.
for like internet, and then plug this in. Then on the train, and I was playing the games. Well, it's not really playing it. It's because it's a game called Granado Espada, which has a built-in AI. It's just like shoots things for you,
Yeah, I
Yep.
played
and
that
so
before
yeah.
when I was
So
in secondary school.
I just needed to, what do you call this, to join the raid of one of the
Right.
bosses, just to be present. And so I just there and not really doing
Yes.
anything, just running around, because you have
Yep.
to hold on the bars, right? And then
Correct.
this was on the other hand, just running around, following, auto attacking, not really being much use, but then at least I get the attendance, and then I get the loot.
Correct.
But this is the
Yeah.
comparison between the two. You'll see the
Yep.
GPT Win Max is here, and then this is like the EPC. And
Yep.
then this is the
So
size comparison.
correct.
Very very similar, and it's amazing how 20 years would have changed the netbook.
Correct.
Yep.
And also, this is the size that is comparable, as Jason said, comparable with an actual laptop.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
an actual full size
Our
laptop.
house.
Yeah, it's a powerhouse on its own. You probably I don't know how GPT what GPT would do. For example, my ThinkPad, I would suggest, if possible, remove all the IBM bloatware. It's horrible. It takes up resources, but that's the way for you to talk to their service or whatever. It's horrible, but it takes up resource. It takes up resource heavily. So even though they do some setting for you to make your life easy, like firmware update.
Mm.
So I'm having a dilemma here actually, but I probably just hate it enough that I would just remove everything and install Ubuntu on it,
Yeah, I
just
always
because.
install Ubuntu on my ThinkPads just because it's, well, I still keep the Windows partition because sometimes firmware
Yeah.
updates are required, and so that I
Yeah,
only boot
correct.
it up like when I subscribe to the Lenovo
Yeah,
emails that say, okay, this is there's an update for your device
yeah,
and those things, right? And also
yes,
reminds me of the warranty and how long the warranty is, and so that's the only
correct.
time I boot up my Windows partition is to update the
Yeah,
firmware. Otherwise, it's just
yes,
Ubuntu is just much more. The only thing is that the fingerprint and Windows Hello doesn't work, but
yeah,
you don't really need. I mean, it's less secure than typing in your password during an elevated privilege prompt.
yeah. So yes, so either way, I mean, I use it because I don't want to deal with support now, but it's painful enough that I might. So, and also, the development environment is not as seamless. So modern day Python development actually have things like poetry, which is the equivalent to even Rails. What's the Rails have? Gems.
Gem.
So yeah, gems, the npm files and all that is comparable now. Finally, after so many years, but the
A
catch now
lot.
is
Mhm.
it does not work. The PyCharm would only works well with poetry if you do everything locally and not through WSL. So it get very weird. The environment get very weird very fast.
So
So
apparently,
which
a
is
lot
good.
of these packages were really inspired by Perl and Ruby.
Yep.
The way Perl and Ruby has done it, like CPAN and
Yes.
Ruby gems.
Yeah,
So,
but Python have PyPI for a while, so more of
but there are
gems that
multiple things. Like the way to install different versions of the same package, for example, is
right.
different.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the thing lah. I don't know.
And
I might
there's
change. I'm
another
going to change.
one that I shared, the Unreal Air. I'll just show it
Yeah,
quickly
yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah. That is too weird for me. I'm so sorry lah. I mean,
You
yes,
have
it's a screen. Yes, it might be useful if I hide it in my room, but
take a look
really
at
though,
some of the videos that that showcase this.
yeah. So this is primarily meant to as a display, not an AR device. So
Well,
this replace your monitor.
they're trying
Yeah,
to do the AR. It's because it's only running on the
I
phone
think
and on the Mac
I think
M1.
AR is more
yeah.
feasible than VR going forward.
No, not
Yeah,
really. Yes and no. VR and AR have different problem.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I mean, if you're gonna go for the masses, it's gonna be AR
yeah.
based.
yeah. It's easier to sell AR, but technology wise, AR have their own
So
problem in
so
the
the
way that
problem with VR is because you need, and with AR as well, is because you need to
yeah,
do head tracking, right?
And you
correct.
have to do
The
and you
degrees of
have
freedom.
to emulate reality,
Yes,
Well,
which
yeah,
but
includes your nose and everything that is proven to cause
yeah.
dizziness.
So this
yes,
one,
but
this is not the AR portion, but more
yeah,
like the display portion, which I am the one.
correct.
This is what I'm more interested in. Having a screen this size. So basically, this is your eye, right? Imagine
Yeah,
putting it on your glasses, and then you have a screen here that you can
yes,
see without a.
yes,
It's not a monitor in front of you. It's just basically on in front of your what they call this, on your glasses, and this is
yeah,
your field of view. Basically, you take a look 46 degrees, do it like that,
yep,
and that's what you see on the screen in front of you. And
yes,
doing this, like let's say without having a monitor in front of you, is of course you have to touch type, or but since it's AR, you can take a look at your keyboard. You can just take look down, and then you can see
yeah,
your 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 keystrokes. But
yeah,
this,
but
it
uh-huh,
makes everything much more portable, especially since you have like the GPD WinMax, very portable. Then you have a portable display.
Mm.
Then everything is just like, it's just like glasses. See, your
yeah.
what do you call this, your
I mean,
carrying
I
case is
get
also that
that,
small.
but I won't play game like okay. Recently, I was very obsessed with Ring Fit. I won't play Ring Fit with this in front of me. It get weird really fast because I literally have to move
I
and
think
move.
I think it depends on the games that design
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of, because your head will move along for if you're gonna use it.
Correct,
Yeah.
But Ring Fit is
correct.
designed to be on a static monitor, like a
Yeah,
TV.
precisely. It only works well on the TV actually. So TV style. So even you play a game, it just feel weird for me if you see something so close, yet it's a bird eye view. For example, Stardew Valley, because I'm obsessed with Stardew Valley, right? So yeah lah. That's it. I mean, it'd be interesting. I think, as usual, things might change. Certain thing that I don't like, I like it a bit, but so far I don't have a lot of those. For
Mhm.
example, the earpad that I have, yeah. I mean, I use it, I get it, but I'm not too crazy over it.
No, AirPods are not very, like,
Yeah,
how would you say, they're not efficient in terms of battery,
yeah,
because you have a very small battery and then you have a lots of processing happening, so it's not,
correct, correct.
it doesn't really make much sense. And then the mobility that you gain from having those is not worth the battery, the
Yeah,
battery limits. So you're still tethered by that battery.
yes.
Uh,
So it's probably the same for this display. I mean, I might try it. I do not know whether it will stick with it. Call me old. I'm officially old.
well, yeah, See, take a
officially.
look at the some of the YouTube videos.
Yeah,
It's quite interesting. On like it can be different, and I wanted
yeah,
to order one, but they're not shipping into Malaysia, so I'll
yeah,
have to wait for someone who was either from the US going back or from Japan going back. So
yeah.
it's being sold in Japan because the micro OLED panels, 1920
Uh-huh.
by 1080, are
Yep.
from Sony. So that's why Japan
Okay.
is selling those. But that
Okay.
it's these tiny panels that reflect into your eyes, and it's called micro OLED. So
Yep.
that's why it's a very. You don't have the screen door effect because it's just very
Yeah.
dense.
Yeah. Cool. Still, I mean, let's see how it goes. I do not know what will happen anyway.
Mhm.
So, what happens for the next few weeks? Actually, not much. Actually, it's
So
almost
Ruby
the end of the
Tuesday
year.
is happening as well. Well,
Yep.
again, it's probably 2 weeks from
Yep.
now, but just reminding, Ruby Tuesday happening.
Yes.
I don't know swimming if you're coming, but
Let's
come
see.
anyway.
I might not. Yeah, I try, but that place, your office is a bit annoying to go at night alone.
It's
Yes,
not.
I know I
It's
can walk to
happening
it.
at Mind Valley again for the year, and then
Okay.
next year it's going to be in the office. But we'll see.
Yeah. Yes, we'll
Mind Valley
see.
seems to be a bit more convenient for people somehow.
Yeah, it's very convenient. Just that no, One Valley is good. It's a great place. It's just that there's not a lot of people, and it's a smaller hall of awesomeness.
Hmm.
So
I've never been
it's a
to the
very
new
small.
one.
Uh, it's the
You
same
haven't
thing
been,
but smaller.
but they have a
Well,
proper sound booth and production booth now. It's quite
correct.
interesting.
Yes. So they get that lah. So yeah, Advent of Code. Then I think that's about it. That's about it really.
Hmm.
With that said, there's some change in position in my day job, so I might run a bit now. So let's see. Oh, final thing I want to show you guys. It's actually very cool. Datumaro. Da-da-da. So this is a toolkit to convert data set. It primarily works with command line. You need to provide your image and a file and all that. It does not work well if you have a database to do that, but it does provide an API for you to write your code to convert it. It's in Python, so there's one thing. It's very slow to be honest. It's
What's the
very
name of
slow.
this?
It's called Datomaro.
Mhm.
The command is called Datum. So the command line, let me show you the example.
Sorry.
So it's primarily a command line utility. So you have, so different projects have different format that they accept. So but it's almost revolve around standard format, Cocoa, Pascal, YOLO. So the thing is, as a result, different research team may just pick one. So what this does primarily is it can convert from one format to another. It can merge different file. Let's say you have you have different project that have different file together. It will merge thing in, so you can get one big file for you to train your thing. It can filter off data set because certain data set you know is bad. You can filter it out. Or for example, this time you decided that you don't care about cat now. You only care about dog and horse, for example. So you can filter it for a reason. So you can do it's very powerful, and it had a Python-like thing. That's my project recently, but don't do this. This is stupid. So I tried loading the whole image as a NumPy array in. It takes up so much resource. It's stupid. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that, please. But the point is you can write code that's easily converting a data set. My only problem with this thing is it's slow, but the cost is slow, but the price is what we do get from this is we support for all major data format. So we don't have to write our own code. It's a very simple API, so you don't have to think too much. It's a standard API, one time, and it will convert everything for you. And it's in active development because it's a standard tools, and Tristan just time traveled then.
Mm.
And also it do data management, meaning you can merge data set. So you have new thing come in, you can merge it as you need it. So it had a lot of plus. It's just as slow as hell. So yeah, this is my project recently. But this is a good tool. This is damn good tool.
But do we know why it's slow? Is it because it's in Python or
IO
something
or
it's just,
there's a lot of IO, I would say.
Yeah,
Or-
IO can be a problem. So
then-
which is why the
And then mostly
Yes.
is that if you're gonna try process files traditionally in Python, it's gonna be sequential.
yeah. And also this thing do a
That's
lot.
why you should just use JavaScript. You have
So
asynchronous.
one of the things that they also try to do is they will actually load the file and do extra processing. So for example, they can run it through a machine learning model. We do not use that. They actually use open CV-like feature to actually read
Hi,
images.
Dogi.
So they do a lot of stuff. They do a lot more stuff than just a file generator. So as a result, it will be slower. And also they use the iterator wrongly. That's another reason. For reasons within the code implementation. But these are very good tools. That's my project recently.
What are you using, Tristan, to power that thing? Are you on Linux?
No, this is Windows right now. I'm using SnapCam.
Okay.
But I'm using SnapCam, then on the webcam, and then using OBS to virtualize, so to frame the thing. That's why it's
right.
Otherwise, it becomes too wide.
Okay, it's 11 already. With that said, thanks for listening. Who knows what happened next week? So yeah, goodbye,
Good night.
and be safe.
Bye.
You had a long
die.
holiday, right?
Well,
Wear a
yes,
mask for
hopefully.
fuck's sake.
Hopefully, it's confirmed and gazetted on Monday. Then that
Yeah.
would be nice.
Yeah, it'll
Yes.
be confirmed
Okay,
tomorrow.
Does it
Yeah,
fall
yeah.
off? No,
Okay,
it doesn't fall off.
No, it doesn't. It sticks.
No,
It sticks to the.
they
want-
failed at physics.
No.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
lah.
It's just got a better grip.
Okay, I'm going
Okay.
to end broadcast.
Okay.
Okay.